Well, you said good looking and casual sex. So if a woman's going to go ahead and have casual sex and good looking with a guy, she's typically going to want a guy that's like very, very attractive.
It depends how drunk she is. People get laughed into bed all the time.
You're going to sit here and tell me if a very attractive female had more than enough drinks, she going to sleep with some fat, stinky dude at the bar? Young living every day, giving it to you and cutting straight. YLE said it. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Now today's video, y'all, is this clip from the show Grilling out in UK. Myron from Fresh and Fit was on there, you know, and he went at it with this feminist. Let's find out how this whole thing unfolded. Let's dive into it.
So what's it like living in Miami?
It's good, lots of
Women?
some, but most are.
We're about 5 seconds in and he's already saying the word. Okay, and do you indulge with them a lot, or?
Yeah, she's trying to grow me, but you know, I'm a professional in this black belt with dealing with womanese, so easy mode. I mean, we have them on the show all the time. We have regular girls as well. So.
Oh, what do you do? Sorry.
Oh, we have a podcast ourselves where it's a male self-improvement podcast. Oh yeah, male self-improvement podcast. Yeah, Fresh and Fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have women on there?
Yes, it's a component of what we do. We also do Money Mondays, teach guys how to make money. Then Wednesdays, how to date properly and get your stuff together. And then Fridays, we do call-in shows or bring in special guests or whatever it may be. But,
so do you think you're quite knowledgeable in the dating field?
To a degree.
Do you think you have a great understanding of how women work?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a great thing if you understand the women?
Well, the thing is, you can either understand women or respect them, but you can't do both at the same time.
What is he talking about? I don't think that's a true statement. I think with understanding women, you'd learn to respect them more. The same as understanding a man, you'd learn to respect him more.
Nah, you can't respect them as equals once you understand them.
You'd still respect them as a woman and what value they hold.
I'm
and what they
speaking
bring.
from an equality standpoint. Like, I can't respect them as equals since I understand them. And I think that's the way they like it anyway.
You can respect each other for their gender. Like, I would respect a man for being a man and what he provides as a man, and you could respect a woman for the things that she could provide that you could never do.
If you understand women, there's no way you can respect them as equals. That's my premise on it.
Why can't you respect them as an equal?
Because we're way different.
Yeah, but you can still respect the fact that you're different and respect what they're capable of that you're not.
Men and women aren't equal. It's just funny how women want you to treat them as equals, but everything that they're actually attracted to and aroused by, most importantly, is not equal.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
For example, perfect example. I came down here. I said, oh, give me a hug. What'd you say? Oh, well, it's traditional, kiss my hand.
Yes. That did not sound English.
See, and she's overseeing the point. He's absolutely right in that stake right there, because y'all want to be treated like equals without the responsibility. When the show started, what did he say? Give him a hug. What'd she say? No, kiss my hand. See, she wants you to pedestalize her, put her on a pedestal. She thinks she's above you to the point where you need to bow down, kiss her hand, and you're not worthy of a hug. Why is it okay for him to kiss your hand, but it ain't okay for you to hug him? See, that's that BS right there. But let's continue.
That right there in itself signifies the difference between men and women.
Yeah.
You displayed it yourself a second ago.
Also, that's fine. Doesn't mean you can't respect that.
So traditionalism, and this is what a lot of girls do, they'll want traditionalism when it benefits them, but that they'll want to expect to be treated as equal later on.
Don't you think men are the same though?
How so?
Like, they want to be traditional in the sense that they provide and stuff, but then they want to be treated equal when they can't bother to show up as a man anymore.
Well, here's the thing. I disagree with that. I think men need to, be protectors and providers. So I don't think women should work. I think the man needs to be the sole breadwinner, and I think women should work electively. With responsibility comes authority, right? So if you're going to go ahead and be responsible and pay the bills and everything else, like, you should have the authority to tell your girl what it is.
So do you think men are...
I don't agree with what she said. I don't think that men expect to get certain traits when they stop doing what they're supposed to do. And if they do, they are delusional. As a man, you have a role to play, protector, provider. And once you're no longer doing your role, you can't expect to get certain benefits. Just like I expect a guy, for us as men to be on point, to protect, provide, to do our part. I expect women to stay on point, to do their part, whatever their responsibility is in that relationship. That's how things goes. I'm fair when it comes down to that. I'm fair and balanced when it comes to that. Men got a role to fulfill and stay on top of that. Women have a role to fulfill and stay on top of that. Let's continue.
Wow.
Yeah, every time I come on the show, it's just another girl spouting the same bullshit about, oh, treat me like a lady, but at the same time, I'm equal to you. It's like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense. If you want to be treated like a lady, that inherently means we're not equal. Because it's way harder to find a guy that has a shit together than an attractive woman.
It's not necessarily an attractive woman, because if
That's
if
what we
all
care
you're
about.
looking for is an attractive
That's what
woman,
we care about.
So you don't care that what values, traditions, what respect levels.
Well, yeah,
what
obviously she
thinks-
can't be a whore either. It's not that hard to be pretty and keep your legs closed. It's not
But
hard.
it's not. Is that all you care about, though?
Yeah.
This guy is unbelievable. So you wouldn't want a woman that looks after you, looks after your mental health, looks after your brain,
Of course, that comes
you.
with it.
Not necessarily. I know a million beautiful women that haven't got the power in their brain or the sense to be accommodating in that sort of any way.
You're goddamn right.
And usually those women that are beautiful and don't have the ability to have substance and have that empathy and care about a man's mental health and etc. usually are the women who get pumped and dumped, splashed and dashed on fast. That's how it usually happens. Touch the back of her oven, easy bake oven style, bake the cake and then he escaped. That's how it usually goes. You don't really get no longevity. And if you do, he just string you along and just keep giving you those encounters, touching the back of your oven till you bust gallows and faint. You can't get no relationship. That's what usually happens to pretty girls. Most of the time when you see girls that's real beautiful, that's been single for a long time, it's because she don't add enough value to be able to retain a guy. She don't add enough value to get a relationship, to get a marriage. You just attractive enough to get bust on. That's what happens a lot of times. But let's continue.
Well, typically when girls aren't right, that means they come from a strong family structure.
Yeah.
They understand these things. They have a strong male figure in their family to some degree that they respect.
But then you are expecting more than just looks, then, aren't you?
Well, it's the main thing to get her foot in the door. It's the most important thing, because there's no conversation if she's not attractive first.
Okay, so what's your type?
Not fat,
Okay.
not a hoe,
What would you classify as fat?
polite. It's just crazy to me how there's so many girls that are big as hell. Like I weigh about 195 to 200 pounds. There's girls that weigh as much as me and I'm 6'3". So it's crazy. They'll be 100 kilos and expect you to.
So you want to feel bigger than the woman?
It's not about me feeling bigger. It's just about, I don't want a girl. It's unacceptable. Just like women don't want a man shorter than them. I don't want a girl big as hell.
Goddamn right.
See how when he speak, she want to feel the need to bash him. But see, if a female was sitting there 400 pounds, built like a lineman, she wouldn't have nothing to say. If she was 400 pounds, built like a lineman, and that girl was talking about she want a high value man that's making $200,000 a month, then she would say, oh girl, some man out there that will love you and that makes that kind of money that would be willing to take care of you. Instead of telling her the truth that most men that make that kind of money won't choose a woman like you. You need to improve your life, lose the weight, and then you'll be able to attract a higher quality man. That would be the right thing to tell her. But see, when he says he don't want an overweight woman, it's a problem. It got to be met with, oh, you just want to feel bigger than her. You just want to feel superior to her. You just want to control her life. Why? It's like soon as he say what his preferences is, they get shamed. Let's continue.
Facts.
Do you not think that's quite offensive to women?
In what way?
Calling them fat as hell?
Yeah, because they're in direct control of every morsel of food that goes in their mouth. That's even worse.
That's a fact. That's a fact right there. It's so funny how it's offensive when men are honest about what we want, but then it's okay. It's considered standards when they want what they want. When women say they don't want fat men, they don't want stinky men, they don't want broke dudes, they don't want bums, it's okay. You got a whole arena out here that's promoting this stuff that sits back and support women for their decisions and what they want in men, even when they don't even fit the quality of man that they asking for. Why are we expected to accept the bare minimum, but we got to go out and work 5 times as harder than they do and be responsible for taking care of them and stay on top of ours, but they can sit back, not improve themselves, be lazy, be overweight, and still get the top quality guy, and it's okay, and they support it. This is delusion, man. Let's continue.
Just like a dude is in control of how much money he earns, woman's in control of how much food she consumes.
Also, men are
Right.
in control of how much food they consume, so men can also
Agreed.
get
Well,
overweight.
yeah, it's unacceptable to be fat as a man as well, but it's even worse when you're a female, because at least as a man, you can make up for your lack of aesthetics. Men have to provide value and utility in way more than one way. Women, you guys have one job. Make what more? 2 jobs. Be hot, 3 jobs. And don't be a not hard.
That is ridiculous. So all you require from a woman, and you think all we're capable of as women, is making sandwiches, looking good, and what was the third thing? Not being
Not being a whore.
not being a whore.
Well, I didn't say that's all they're capable of. what I'm saying is that these are things that men tend to value. Women tend to think that we care about like their opinions and all this other stuff. We don't care about none of that. Men actually don't want a lot, guys. We're very simple.
Women's opinions, of course, are valid. This guy has got everything seriously twisted. But you will eventually, won't you? So if you were with a woman and you were settling with a woman and you were growing as a business or something, your woman is naturally going to be right by your side, isn't she? So you are going to value her opinion. You are going to respect.
No, because the reality is when a woman's with a man that she loves, admires, and respects, her opinions pretty much become your opinions. Girls absorb the strongest man in that they're in a relationship with or that they're linked to. So for example, if a girl has a strong father, a lot of the time she has a very similar worldview to her father.
Yeah.
If she has strong brothers, she has a similar worldview. If she doesn't have any male, influence, she'll think dumb shit like her mom tells her, oh, man ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. So I can always tell from speaking with a woman if she has a father or some kind of strong masculine figure in her life.
I disagree with him there, because I would say this, even as when you become a successful man, you got your life on point, still say she my woman, I'm going to hear out what she have to say. I'm going to be the final decision maker because she might have a valid point. Women are very socially calibrated and they can see things sometimes. So she might be able to say something, that I might not have seen. It might be one thing or so here and there. Sometimes women they might be able to peep one little scene or something, might be like one little inch crack in there that she might see. Now she can run it by me and then I'll decide whether or not I want to implement it into my life or not. But I'm not going to say that her opinion is not valid. I don't agree with that. But let's continue.
That's why we don't care about y'all opinions, because we know it can be morphed by whatever
But
you're
some women do have a great mind and they do have helpful opinions and they do have a different opinion that maybe, well, actually, I wouldn't have thought about it like that because I'm in such a masculine state that sometimes you forget the femininity is actually really important too when it comes to certain things.
Her opinion matters, but she has to earn that, right? So like a lot of girls think that we care about their opinion early on in the relationship or whatever. We really don't, because a man's life is way harder than a woman's life. So whatever opinion you have, it's kind of null and void.
I don't necessarily think a man's life is harder than a woman's life. I think men have a hard life, women have a hard life, but we have different struggles.
Yeah, these feminists are stupid.
That's delusion right there. A man life ain't harder than a woman. Listen, I think women need to be in the shoes of these guys. Men that actually go out and work hard every single day that's overlooked. They really underestimate the life of a man. They have absolutely no idea what it's like to be a man. A man life isn't as harder than a woman. A man life is 5 times harder than the female. A lot of the things that women go through is because they put themselves in those situations. When they come to men, outside of, this is for any women watching, we're not talking about the exception to the rule. Outside of enforced encounters, aka grape, outside of enforced encounters, most women get to dictate and choose the man that they let inside of them. They get to dictate and choose the man that they give their bodies to. So when it comes to the men, bad guys, you picked them. 3-4 kids, that was your decision. You carried before you married. Dressing provocative, going to these clubs. That is the devil's playground. All this drinking, excessive drinking all the time, all these putting yourself in these compromising positions to where things can happen. Shopping all the time, consumer debt, all these different things that happen a lot of times, women put it on themselves. We live in a world and society now where it's set up for women to win. It is set up for you to win. You can go out here, ruin your life, and at the bare minimum, you got the government who's gonna come through and save you every freaking time. If it ain't your family to come save you, some man can take care of you. And if that ain't gonna happen, you can go get a career. If that ain't gonna happen, you get to sexualize yourself in exchange for money. OnlyFans, P-stars, you have options. If that don't work out, guess what? You can start a business, you can get a career. That's a lie. Y'all have so many conveniences to come save y'all every single time. That's bullshit. But let's continue.
If he spent even a day in a woman's shoes, he would know that that is a lie. I think the only thing that's different with men and women is women have a great support system. So any of our struggles are like shared, they're halved. Whereas a man is literally on your own. You don't really have that friendship group that you could go and
you just proved
release
my
your
point for me.
emotions to.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. You just proved this point. You got all these share groups and people that come out there and save you. Men don't have that. When men is suffering, you gotta suffer. And when your whole world is behind you, the whole world is against you, your family don't respect you, men don't respect you, you lose your friends, the woman walk out of your life and cheat on you, or women don't want to be with you, you gotta still stand stoic, be strong, believe in yourself. You gotta damn near be fucking delusional and keep going and believe through all of the fire, rise above and become successful just to get in a room to have certain kind of women in your life. That's most men. So when you're talking about all of these different obstacles that men got to overcome to even get in a room with certain kind of women, we are not the same. We do not play by the same game. It is not the same. Y'all have a way easier life than us. But let's continue.
No. That doesn't mean that anyone's life's harder. It just means we both have equally hard lives, and we
we must become excellent. Like, women have the privilege of being mediocre and still being taken seriously by society, still finding a man to take care of them. Us, on the other hand, if we don't become excellent, our reality reflects that. We get no chicks, no one respects us, no one wants to hang out with us. So as a man, you must go out there and become successful. For women, you don't have to.
You'll never experience childbirth. You'll never experience pregnancy. You'll never experience menstrual cramps.
That's a choice.
Menstrual cramps aren't a choice. They're
okay,
monthly.
But pregnancy is.
But if you wanted a child, because it's not just a singular choice, is it? It's between two people. So if you wanted a child, you can't physically have your own child. It'd be on your woman.
This is a perfect example of women always seeing the finish line and not actually seeing the race. What needs to happen for a child to be born?
The obvious.
Sex, right?
Sexual intercourse.
How does a man go about getting sex?
I don't know. You have a load of hosts, so it's probably really easy.
See that right there? Have no idea of what it takes for a man to be able to even get in a room, to even have the chance to even have sex with a woman that most men want to be with. Then she try to compare a woman's menstrual cycle to what it takes for a man to become successful, all the suffering the man got to do. A menstrual cycle from a woman don't compare to what a man got to go through to become successful. Is you crazy?
This is you crazy.
These women is delusional, bro. These feminists, this is crazy. Let's continue.
Delusional. What's new? Let's talk about the race. Let's talk about the guy having to build his value up. Let's talk about the guy being useless at 18 years old versus a woman at 18 years old. Everyone's trying to fly her out. If she's hot enough, she has an Instagram profile. She's getting offers from dudes that are, $1 million, $2 million net worth, etc. As a man, you have to build yourself up to even be able to get sex. Women are just offered sex.
I don't think that's true, actually, because if you're a good-looking guy, like you said, there's plenty of women around that will happily have sex. If you're a good-looking guy...
We all know that it's not easy for guys to get laid. If it was, guys will be watching porn or subscribing to OnlyFans or all this other fuckery that we got going on with sex work.
It's not harder for men to have sex. It might be harder for men to have sex with higher value women, but like you said, there's hoes everywhere. There's women of less value or less attractive than you that would happily sleep with you. So it's not harder, you're just looking in the wrong places.
That is cap. Now, it depends on what area you in as a guy. Now, if you're in a highly concentrated area, when I say concentrated, I mean like major cities with a lot of different women, because women tend to behave based upon the environment they're in. So if a woman live in, I don't know, Bumfuckville somewhere in a small town in America, she gonna tend to behave a little differently because she don't have the same level of options as a woman that's in a major city where there's a whole bunch of men that's attractive, which she can find a small percentage of men that's attractive with money and resources and charisma and stuff like that. So it all depends on where the guy is. Area plays a big part in that. But what she don't understand is even if you are an attractive guy, sometimes you can say the wrong things and ruin it for yourself. Being attractive don't always guarantee that you're gonna get sex from a girl. That just guarantee, you might get a ticket to the dance, but that don't necessarily mean you're gonna get to dance with the girl. This is the thing. These women always talking. They have absolutely no idea what it's like to attract women as a man. Absolute delusion. Let's continue.
Okay, what does it take to be a good-looking guy?
Well, it depends. Everyone's idea of good-looking differs, but most people find a lot of men attractive these days.
What?
So before you go there, most people find most men attractive when women only find 10 to 20% of men attractive, and it's 80 to 90% of men is struggling. A third of men that's forced to be celibate, not by choice, by force. And there's a substantial amount of guys paying for OnlyFans, escorts, and going to strip clubs. If men were attracted by most women, there would be no OnlyFans. There would be no high concentration of P stars. There would be no multiple men going to strip clubs. This woman is really delusional, bro. Let's continue.
To be tall, most women want a guy over 6 feet tall. Most men don't qualify
Most
for that.
say this, but then when it actually comes down to it and you ask them about their pasts, most men probably aren't over
Well, you
6
said
feet
good
tall.
looking and casual sex. So if a woman's going to go ahead and have casual sex and good looking with a guy, she's typically going to want a guy that's like very, very attractive.
It depends how drunk she is. People get laughed into bed all the time.
The point I'm trying
You're gonna sit here and tell me if a very attractive female had more than enough drinks, she gonna sleep with some fat, stinky dude at the bar?
A bullshit?
Depending on how drunk she is.
Bullshit?
So even if she at the bar right now with all her friends and she in VIP with all these men is paying for drinks, top tier guys, some fat stinky dude can pull up on her, get her if she drunk, and then take her home. These women have absolutely no idea of what it's like to attract women as a man. Like I said already. Let's continue.
to make is that women typically want a guy who's better than them in every regard. So for a guy to get sex is very difficult. And then you're mentioning, oh, well, he could just be good looking. That's not easy for a man. You have to go to the gym. You have to build your body up. You have to dress well, smell well. Then you have to also have game. Even if you're a good looking guy.
Also the same for a woman.
She's got no fucking idea, man.
He has absolutely zero idea.
Do you every good looking guy you talk to?
No, absolutely never.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about me. You said you surround yourself with hoes, and I'm saying if you do surround yourself with hoes, then sex is easily obtainable.
Good looks a lot of the times might get your foot in the door, but if you're not able to convey yourself in a certain way, have a certain tonality, have a certain confidence, speak in a certain way.
But do you not think that's the same with a woman?
No.
We still have to go to the gym.
No, we actually appreciate when you guys are quiet.
I've had enough. But if we went on a first date and I sat there and I was like, you're going to think, one, she's boring, two, she's got no personality, three, she's got zero substance. Now, as much as you say all you want is someone to look good and make sandwiches, realistically, you're going to get so bored of that if the person you're dating has no substance.
Well,
I agree with that point right there. Because me, I've stopped, in the past when there have been very attractive girls, I stopped talking to them if they didn't have no substance. I can't do a pretty face girl that's just born. She have no conversation, no dialect, no personality at all. So that I do agree with her on. But there's still that's just me personally. A lot of men out here date girls that's very attractive with no personality, no substance, that's extremely lazy and don't do anything, and they still get guys. Men still wipe them up just because they look good. But let's continue.
well, most are boring in general. Imagine as a guy and, hot girls want to fly you out and suck your and smash you just for you existing. Would you actually go to the gym and develop yourself? The answer is a profound fucking no.
That's a fact right there. That is a fact. Most attractive girls are annoying. They got bad attitudes, bad behavior, and they're boring because they don't have to improve themselves. That's human. It's no burden performance on you to improve yourself as a person if you're getting everything without having to do the work. Let me repeat that. There's no burden performance on you improving yourself if you're getting everything without having to do the work. That's between men and women. If guys could just sit down all day long and sleep 10 hours a day and still get baddies to blow the wick off his candle like birthday time, make a wish, you think he gonna get up and work a shift? No, he's not. Same thing with women. Same thing. You beautiful women, you got men trying to fly you out. You getting VIP sections. You get to go to yacht parties. You got guys that want to take you on vacations overseas. You got men sending you cash apps. You got guys taking you on dates, paying for the dinner just because of the way you look. And these are high successful men. Man, she ain't gonna want to improve herself. What? Why, in her mind, why do I need to be better? Why should I have personality? I can get these high quality men just the way I am. So yeah, most attractive girls they're born. Most attractive girls are annoying because they don't have to be good people. They don't have to work on themselves. They get accepted as is. Facts. Let's continue.
And the hottest especially are boring.
That's not also very true. I think it just depends on how you were raised and your upbringing and what you were surrounded with. He is wrong. I do not care. That is wrong. There's a lot of people that you wouldn't find attractive that are also boring. There's a lot of people in general.
But no one cares about ugly girls.
Boring.
No one cares about ugly girls. But what I'm saying is that hot girls a lot of times are boring because they've never had to develop themselves to become attractive. And they've gotten everything that they've ever wanted simply by being hot. So why...
I think it's a very small minority of people, though.
No one gives a shit about ugly girls, just like no one cares about broke guys in front of 7-Eleven.
She thinks it's a minority of women, beautiful women. She's trying to say that most beautiful females have substance, great personalities, they respect man, they're kind, they're great to be around, they're peaceful. This is what she's saying. This is the delusion they live in. Listen, they got a one-track mind. They see the world from one side so much that they believe that they anecdotal experience inherit to the whole population, the general population. Most beautiful women have personality, have substance. This is ridiculous, man. Let's continue.
And here's the thing, just like babies and children, like you guys can barely make your own decisions, don't know what you want to eat half the time, can't protect yourselves. It's like, God damn.
I mean, we can protect ourselves, but we shouldn't have to, because that's what men are for.
How are you going to protect yourself from a man?
No, not from a man, I suppose. But this is why you're here, to protect us.
Yeah,
so we're not inferior to you. You're not superior. Your strength is superior for the reason of protecting women.
Right. So if you need us to protect you, then we're not equal. Because if you was equal, you could do everything we can do. But clearly, you can't do everything a man can do because we not equal. You proving his point even further. Let's continue.
He just seems so insecure when it comes to women, and I kind of feel a little bit sorry for him. Your strength is superior.
Which is the most important thing.
It's
Strength is the only thing that matters.
Strength isn't all that matters. Stop winding me up now.
It's the only thing that matters.
That's a very vague statement to say. Strength is the only thing that matters in the whole world.
Yes.
So you can't talk.
It's why we're at the top of the food chain. It's why we built this crazy world that we have right now. Everything was built by men.
I'll have the full video that they had in the description so y'all can check it out if y'all like to. That's all I gotta say about this video, y'all. Before I get out of here as men, let's be on our purpose. Let's be on our grind. Let's get our money on point. Let's get our mind on point, our bodies on point, develop them social skills, man. Now, last but not least, get you a passport and travel to a destination you're liking. I'm telling you, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And they ain't sure ain't gonna be dealing with no delusional feminists who think men and women is equal. Because in these countries, they know that there's a big difference. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Tell a friend, and tell another friend. Look, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.
Yeah, got the streets on fire, feel the heat, the way. Ain't never had no handouts, put in work, I'm self-made. Superhero strength, I got the power, Luke Cage. Flexing on them haters like Drake.